Have you ever heard somebody say, experience is your best teacher? Like if you have, like as you are experiencing, it becomes your best teacher. I'm going to tell you that is not accurate at all. It might be accurate in some very unique instances, but for the most part, experience is the worst teacher. And what do I mean by that? And why is it so important? If you know this information, if you're able to clearly understand this philosophy, this new idea of experience being the worst teacher instead of the best teacher, then you would actually have a deeper understanding about your mind, and that will help you grow your business, improve your career, and help you grow to the next level. But if you don't understand this, then what happens is you're like, oh, look at that, I have this experience, that is actually helping me a lot. So here is the thing. Let me get into the real stuff. So when you have an experience, you are not actually learning from experience. Most people are not. They're taking the experience and mix it with a little bit poison of fear, and then they are drinking the Kool-Aid. So what does that mean? Let me explain that. And drinking the Kool-Aid is a phrase that people use in the US. Essentially, that means that you're committing to something. Let's generalize it like that. So let me explain. So you have an experience. You have a bad experience with one person who take advantage of you in some capacity. So let this be a woman, and woman took advantage of you. All of a sudden, what does experience say? Experience say, I cannot trust women. It's a generalization, right? You bring in your fear into the experience, and then you mix it with the experience, and you drink that Kool-Aid and say, oh, I cannot trust women. All women are not trustworthy. We generalize and build a belief around it. And if it's a man, same thing, right? And if it is like, so for example, you work for a company, and when you work for a company, the company did not provide you the compensation that they promised. And they said they are going to give you this bonus, and they changed their bonus structure. All of a sudden, our mind and body is like, oh my gosh, that company did not give you the bonus. So all companies must be like this. So business people are horrible people. That is a poison. Like you brought in, that is a poison in a sense. Your mind is generalizing. There are very good business people in the world. There are very bad business people in the world. But it's not true either way. It's not true that all business people are good or business people are bad. Neither of them are true. There are good business people. There are bad business people. I don't know what is the percentage. I haven't done a survey. But the point is, when you have an experience, most people are mixing the experience with their own fear, and they mix it, and then they drink it, right? So they would put some experience, put some fear, and then mix it, shake it, and drink it. So essentially, it becomes poisonous because now you're going backward. Imagine you had a relationship, a romantic relationship with somebody, right? Or you are married to somebody, and all of a sudden you had a bad experience with this woman, man, right? Whatever capacity, you're divorced, or you had a girlfriend, boyfriend, and you were separated. All of a sudden, what's the belief? Oh my gosh, relationship is painful. Relationship is painful. Relationships, oh my gosh, that's the most painful experience ever. Why? You concluded that, you took the experience of relationship, you mixed the poison of the rejection or a failure or something, some other fear that you felt, and you mix it, you shake it, and you drink it. And when you drink it, my sound is much better, right? When you drink it, what happens is, when you drink it, okay, so when you drink that, what happens is the experience becomes your worst teacher. So experience becomes your worst enemy accordingly. Depression, what is depression? You had an experience. And of course, there are some people who have like natural bias to be depressed. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about general, normal, non-clinical ish depression. What happens? You had a bad thing and you didn't express yourself. And then something happened, you didn't express yourself. In your mind, you're like, you generalize and say, oh, these people are, not good people. I'm not saying that all depressed people are judging other people, but we shrink internally when we are depressed. We shrink internally. Instead of expressing anger outside, we become angry inside. We become angry inside. the depression is an anger directed inwards. That's my definition for depression, like in general terms. I'm not talking about aggressively clinical depression. I'm talking about general depression is anger inside. So you're angry at yourself and something happened and you did something and you say that I am equals pain. I equal pain. Instead of relationship equal pain, it's just me. It's me and my relationship with me. It's a marriage between me and me. And in that marriage, in that relationship, I had a horrible experience of me acting in a certain way. And now I'm depressed that I am disappointing now. Do you see that association? So in all of these cases, does that mean every experience is a bad teacher? No, there are some experiences that are not bad teachers. So experience could actually become the best teachers when you don't mix it with fear. You just take the experience and learn from it. I think Einstein said something similar to this. He said, there is only learning. Everything else is data. So you take the experience and you take out the fear from it, remove the fear from the experience, and bring it with the experience. Experience could actually become a good teacher. This might sound like a very simple idea, but this could radically change the way you look at the world. You look at your own world. Look at your past in your life, in business, in marketing, in sales, in anything that you do, in your relationship, in your childhood, no matter what you think about, look at your past, like a way into your past, and look for situations where you had an experience, that experience is limiting you. You tried something. Like, I'll give you an example of my own. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade when I had to give a speech. And I had to give a speech in front of 300-400 people, 400 kids at school. And I was supposed to talk about independence. I was in India at the time. So I was supposed to, this was August 15, which is Independence Day for India. And I was supposed to talk about India and independence. So I went to the stage, and this is supposed to be in English too, as far as I remember. So I'm like, India is a free country, right? And India, and then like I paused. I'm like, what the heck am I going to say? Everything is foggy, and there are some people, and I still don't see people like clearly. I am seeing something foggy. Some people there, some people, and I cannot breathe, and I cannot continue the speech. So I'm like saying the same thing again. India is an independent country. It's a democratic country. And then I kept on doing like this for some time. And third time I said, India is an independent country. Somebody from the back prompted me and said, maybe it's time for you to conclude the speech. And I said, okay. And then I came back and totally embarrassed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, could I ever speak again? Right. So that has happened to me. That's how I started my speaking career. Right. So I had to figure it out. So if you look at it, the first time you do something, you suck. First time you try to walk, you sucked probably, unless you were like Superman and started walking, like when you were like crawling and then all of a sudden you started walking. Hopefully that is not the case, right? Most people are, right? First time you do something, you suck. Second time you do something, you less suck. Third time you do something, you even less suck. Ignore my grammar, okay, there. So I'm trying to make a point here. So the fourth time you do it, you start to do okay. The fifth time, it becomes good. The sixth time, it becomes better than good. The 20th time, you become extraordinary, remarkable. So don't allow experience of failure, experience of rejection, experience of being limited, experience of sucking at something, limit you, experience of effing up, limit you from pursuing the next level in your life. Experience can be the worst teacher and the best teacher. It is a worst teacher when you mix it with fear, especially deep-rooted fears. So if you are trying to learn from experience, if you want experience to be your best teacher, then what you need to do is you need to separate the experience from fear. And then so look at the experience from a fearless place within you. And then all of a sudden you get the data. And then you learn from it and you could move forward. That's what I want to talk to you about. And it sounds like a very simple idea, but if you are able to implement this, it could dramatically change the way you look at marketing, sales, look at business optimization, and so many other things in life and relationship and everything. So everything, like look at some time in your life as we conclude, look at some place in your life where you are like, you had an experience and you mix it with fear. So get rid of the fear right now. You could actually do that. Get rid of the poison right now. So you don't need to be poisoned in your system. You don't need to be limiting your system by keeping that poison. So get out of the fear about that particular experience from past, and then learn from experience by itself today in your imagination. And that itself could actually change the way you look at the world. By the way, if you haven't bought my book, 90 Days to Life, it's time for you to get it. It's a fascinating book that will teach you, if you're a business person, if you want to scale your business, if you want to grow your business, if you are like starting out in your business, you want to start a business, don't know how to do it, this 90 days will help you. If you want to scale your business to a completely different level, to 10, 20, $100 million, this will help you gain that clarity, because this has 90 Days Life has been written with experience of me working with people from 14 different countries. And it's a beautiful story about a woman finding her way into her own greatness. So check it out on Amazon. You might see a link on my website, or for Amazon. Use that, go check out the book and get the book and start using it so that you can take your business to the next level. Experience can be the best teacher and the worst teacher, but you want to make sure that your experience are your best teachers by separating fear from experience. Okay? Until next time, Ruble Chandy signing off.